Good evening. I'd like to call this meeting of your Westland City Council to order. We will begin tonight's meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance led by Councilwoman Emily Bauman. Thank you, Councilwoman Bauman, for leading us in the pledge. Mr. Clerk, roll call, please.
And I'll call her name first. Councilwoman Bauman.
Present.
Councilman Hart. Here. Councilman Hornbuckle. Here. Councilwoman Rakowski. Present. Councilman Wishart. Here. Pro Tem Sampe. Here. President McDermott.
Here.
A quorum is present.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. We will now begin tonight with one of three special announcements and presentations. We will start off with Miriam Cady from Relay for Life.
Thank you so much once again for having me here. I'm so blessed to have such a great support system in our community, for sure. So I am here to talk about, amazingly, the 25th anniversary. I know people have heard us talk about it, but it's just crazy to think that it's already here, coming up in less than 3 weeks. So I just want to remind everybody, June 7th at Tanton Park, Farmers Market. 11 a.m. is the opening. Throughout the day, we have amazing things happening, some great laps, one of which is at 12 noon for our honoring our first responders, which we are thankful for. But to start us off, we will have our survivors, caregivers start our walk and treat them to luncheon. So I do have those invites if anybody wants any. And then just have things all throughout the day. But obviously, the main thing is, it's all cancers, and we're trying to just keep on celebrating more birthdays. That's what our theme is about, celebrating birthdays. So that's what we want to keep doing and try to raise as much money as we can. And we do this throughout the year, and we're just blessed that we're about halfway there. 50,000 is our goal, so we're really thankful and what we've raised so far, and we're obviously looking forward to raising more. So our website, just to let you know, is relayforlife.org/Westland Wayne MI. And I have flyers tonight. I've got our caregiver survivor invites. I also have a fundraiser coming up tomorrow at Texas Roadhouse. I've got those cards here. And also, too, we have luminaria bags that we're going to be selling for $10 in honor of it, in memory, that lines our track up. We put sand in it, we put a candle in there, and we have an amazing luminaria ceremony in the evening to honor that. And this year, we're going to have our bagpiper back, so, which we're very thankful for, too. But just things throughout the day. It's a family-friendly. We're here to do whatever we can to have the community come and join us. And we, like I said, updated our name to Westland, Western Wayne County. So we have quite a few other areas that don't have our relays anymore. And we are so thankful that we have a community that supports us, administration, mayor, everybody that supports us in our community with Parks and Rec, WLND, our fire and police. I mean, the list goes on, and we are so thankful. And a lot of communities didn't have that, and it was hard for them to sustain. So we invited them to come and join us. So we hope that they will. So that's about it. I'll be here and definitely leave flyers here, and I have different things that I can give you. Once again, my name is Miriam, and I'm part of the lead team, and I'm thankful to be here. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you so much, Miriam. Appreciate it. Next up, we'll hear from Don Nicholson.
Thank you, Council President and Council. Everybody knows we've been having some restaurants that have been suffering a little bit during the construction of the bridge, and everybody's been out there helping them out, and we wanted to try and do our part. We've got the June 14th is the All-American Wayne Road Cruise coming up, so we thought, what the heck, let's do a kickoff and really try and bring some people to the community, to the area that is really suffering a little bit. So we're putting on the Construction Rescue Cruise on June 10th. And we'd love to invite everybody out. We're going to have classic cars in the parking lots of all the restaurants, some up and down on the different area businesses that'll have them park in their lawn or their parking area. So come on out and check out the cars, come out and check out the restaurants, see what's available. We've got everything from sushi to chicken to everything is available down there. And we've been getting calls from a lot of the restaurants, or not the restaurants, but the other businesses, and they're all jumping on board as well. So everybody's really happy to see a little bit more traffic coming down there, and it's really, I know as a business person, I'd hate to be in their position, so this is our way of helping out and giving back. We want everybody to know, especially because I know this council is supporting this, the mayor is supporting this, there is no money changing hands. We've just done this to help. It's sort of a kickoff for the Wayne Road Cruise. It's ours, but we wanted to help out the community there. So there is, anybody ever comes up and asks that question, who's getting paid for this? Nobody is. We're running the ads in the marketplace paper for free, and we're doing the promotion and the printing and everything for free, and we're inviting everybody out. So come on out and have a great time. Let's show them what Westland's all about. And I know we've invited both police and fire to come out, and if anybody has another idea that they want to promote the city during this, let me know, and we'll be happy to work with you and get a spot for it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Don. And finally, we will have a legislative update from our community representative, Cheryl Tipton, from Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib's office.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Council Chair and honored council members and all of you honored people that are living in the Westland community. This is the legislative update from Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib, especially regarding Medicaid. The Republican budget proposal cut more than $900 billion from Medicaid and the Affordable Care Act, leaving more than 13 million people across the country without health insurance. This would be the largest Medicaid cut in American history. This plan would impose strict new work and work reporting requirements for Medicaid, deny Medicaid coverage to anyone who is underemployed or unemployed, terminate Medicaid coverage for anyone who cannot meet work requirements, impose a government test to determine who is able-bodied, cut funding to states for Medicaid expansion, severely restricts states' ability to collect taxes for Medicaid, cancel coverage for individuals who do not complete additional paperwork, increase premiums for individuals who receive insurance through the Affordable Care Act, provide new tax breaks for big pharmaceutical companies. What Congresswoman Tlaib wants you to know, that all of us in the 12th Congressional District, in District 12, 38% of all residents rely on Medicaid. If these cuts to Medicaid and the Affordable Care Act are enacted, they would, number one, threaten the health care for up to 300,000 individuals, including more than 100,000 children and nearly 30,000 seniors. Increase average premiums for 36,000 people who receive coverage under the Affordable Care Act by $630 per year, a 50% increase. Increase health insurance costs for a 60-year-old couple with a household income of $85,000 by $7,197 per year, a 100% increase in premium. These proposed cuts remove the very tools that keep people stable and out of high-cost settings like emergency rooms or nursing homes. And these cuts would be used to pay for a $4.6 trillion tax break for millionaires and billionaires. Congresswoman Tlaib will support every effort to stop this Republican budget from passing. It may not be you, it may not be me that's affected, but it's somebody in this room or somebody that we know. So please pay attention. If you're not getting the alerts from the Congresswoman, you can go online to sign up for the e-newsletter. That'll be delivered each month. Stay informed because these are some serious things that will hurt a lot of people. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Tipton. Okay, we will now move on to questions or input on the agenda from the public. This section will allow members of the public at the beginning of the meeting to address the council regarding items that are on tonight's business agenda. Questions asked may be responded to during the agenda item following a motion in support from your Westland City Council. I do see some new faces in the audience, so just to let you know, this is the opportunity to speak on the agenda. We will have a separate second public comment portion where you can speak on whatever you wish at the end of the meeting. Is there anyone on my left? Anyone on my right? Okay, seeing and hearing none, we will close comments on the agenda and move on to the consent calendar. Is there a motion?
Support.
There's a motion by Councilman Hart, supported by Councilwoman Pro Tem Sampe. Are there any changes to the consent calendar?
Yes.
Yes, Councilman Wishart.
Consent calendar item
You'd like to move it to new business?
new business.
Okay, there's a motion to move the consent calendar item, you said, excuse me, D. Consent calendar item D by Councilman Wishart to new business. Is there support?
Support.
Supported by Councilwoman Baumann. Mr. Clerk, roll call, please.
To move item D to new business 1A, Councilwoman Baumann.
Yes.
Councilman Hart.
Yes.
Councilman Hornbuckle.
Yes.
Councilwoman Rakowski.
Yes.
Councilman Wishart.
Yes.
Pro Tem Sampe.
Yes.
President McDermott.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Okay, back to the consent calendar as amended. Are there any other changes to the consent calendar? Any other changes to the consent calendar? Any dissent? Any dissent? Hearing and seeing none, motion passes as amended.
Council has approved the following consent calendar items. Minutes of the regular meeting held May 5, 2025. Request from CW Fireworks to operate a seasonal temporary fireworks tent in the parking lot of 2651 South Wayne Road, July 1, 2025 through July 4, 2025. Hours of operation 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. each day. Last item, approved on the consent calendar. Approval of purchase of 4 new mobile computers for the police department from My Deal, Dell Computers, total amount not to exceed $22,000. Moving to payment of voucher.
Is there a motion? There's a motion by Councilman Hart, supported by Councilman Hornbuckle. Is there any discussion from the maker? No. Any discussion from the supporter? No. Any other discussion from the council? Any dissent? Any dissent? Hearing and seeing none, motion passes.
Moving to new business. Item 1, request to modify public hearing date to review the proposed brownfield plan for the Presbyterian Villages of Michigan. The original public hearing date was set for May 19. The suggested new date is June 2, 2025, to comply with noticing requirements.
Is there a motion? Motion by Councilwoman Rakowski, supported by Councilman Wishart. Is there any discussion from the maker? Any discussion from the supporter? Any other discussion from the council? Any dissent? Any dissent? Hearing and seeing none, motion passes.
New business. Item 1A, introduction of ordinance 50185 through 50189, an ordinance to allow the fire department to assess a service fee for non-emergency response cost recovery, lift assistance, and non-emergency responses.
Support.
There's a motion by Councilwoman Rakowski, supported by Councilman Hart. Is there any discussion from the maker?
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Council President. I'm very pleased to have had Chief Stamper introduce this ordinance to council, in which we had a study session. This ordinance asks for for-profit skilled nursing centers, nursing homes, residential living centers, assisted living centers. Needless to say, most for-profit businesses that may be taking care of our sick and elderly, quasi-residents at the time. What this ordinance does not do is it does not affect private residents. So if you need help, if you're a caregiver for your parent and you need a lift assist, this is not pertaining to you. If you are taking care of anyone in your home and there's a non-emergent issue, this doesn't pertain to you. This pertains to the businesses that are not either employing enough individuals to render the appropriate care for the residents who pay to live there, or who don't have the appropriate contracts with private ambulatory companies to transport those individuals. It puts a stress on the services that our fire department's able to provide for the residents. And with this being brought forward, it should divert some of that unnecessary use of the fire department, and also allows for those that have been given a fee to go through an appeals process. So I think this is a very good ordinance. I think it's a long time coming, and I have nothing but support for it and for our first responders that are called to the overwhelming number of for-profit residences in the community.
Thank you, Councilwoman Rakowski. Anything from the supporter?
Thank you, Council President. I'll just echo what Councilwoman Rakowski said. She laid it out pretty good. So this is basically, a way for our fire department to recover a portion of their cost and time when these for-profit institutions either are unable or unwilling to provide the services that they should be doing themselves, and leaning on, our emergency first responders to kind of do their job for them. It's gotten out of hand. A lot of other communities are doing this as a way to encourage these for-profit institutions to do what they said they were going to do and go ahead and provide the services that they promised their families and their residents that they would do without burdening the taxpayers a little further. So there is an appeal process and everything else, so it's thought out and it's been orchestrated well. I know the chief worked on it for a while. The legal department worked on it. Councilwoman Rakowski was pretty much one of the initial impetuses to push it with the chief. So in support, interested to see if there's any other comment, but I thought the study session went very well, and we're not the first community to do this. So thank you, Council President.
Thank you, Councilman Hart. Councilman Wishart.
Thank you, Council President. I'm going to echo what Councilwoman Rakowski said. She said it phenomenally. Something else that was noted in the study session was this is at no cost to the residents on Medicaid at these facilities. The cost is baked in, it's done. Nursing homes can't add to it. With that, though, I'd like to kick over to the fire department to add any more information to it.
Thank you. I think Councilwoman Rakowski summed that up pretty well. So, like she said, the whole impetus behind this was to, I don't want to use the quote, go after, but for-profit skilled nursing facilities and assisted living facilities, which weren't kind of providing the services that they advertised to the resident. So this just, again, to kind of go off of what Councilman Hart said, just is a small portion of the cost recovery of what it costs us to go on a run. And I've spoken to the administrative staff of every facility that could be affected by this, and it's actually been fairly well accepted, surprisingly. So with some pieces in there that they understand that they're going to have to educate their staff, and really it's, to give kind of the public just an example. When we go to a skilled nursing facility for something that's non-emergent that they had called a private EMS company for, and the private EMS company gives them a 4 or 5 hour kind of response window that they could come in. Oftentimes that's not necessarily as timely as they would like, so they then call 911. So while we're there dealing with that emergency, if someone has an emergency next door, a true emergency, our services are tied up there. So it's really to kind of thwart that type of behavior from these facilities that are supposed to be staffed with staffing that is able to handle this type of non-emergent stuff, and wait for a private ambulance to show up. And if not, then again, we'll just collect a small fee to provide that service for them. And happy to answer any questions anyone might have.
Councilman Wishart, anything else?
Nope, that's it at this time. I hope this passes.
Okay, all right. Councilman Hornbuckle.
Thank you. And I just want to clarify something that the chief said. This is not for the city to get rich off a nonprofit or a facility that provide their own lift service. And from my understanding, the fee is half of what the fire department would normally charge anyway. So this is just to help out release some of the stress or strain that the fire department is put on. So I definitely will be supporting this because, we need our firefighters to focus on helping the residents that need them the most. So thank you for putting this together, great work, and you to the attorney as well for your help.
Thank you, Councilman Pro Tem.
Yeah, I just wanted to also echo support for this. I know Councilwoman Rakowski worked on this. This was something that myself and Council President on a different side with the community payer medicine, which actually supports something similar. So it takes the responsibility of the individuals that work at the facility, and it really pushes them to make sure that they're staffed appropriately, which ultimately, that's what we want anyways, right? We want our facilities to be staffed appropriately. So you don't want your loved one laying around waiting for a private ambulance of 12 hours to pick them up. So what they do is they call the Westland 911, Westland firefighters. We come in, we assist, we don't turn them down. It's much quicker. So this basically is taking the facility and holding them not only accountable, but also making sure that we're filling that gap with the necessary services that are needed. So I support this as well. I know this has been something that Chief has brought to us. Councilwoman Rakowski has been championing this. All of us, I think, support this. So I just want to thank the chief for bringing this up, Councilwoman for pushing this along, our city attorney, and all of my colleagues for supporting this, because I think it's definitely something that's going to help the city. And I know it's been brought up, we're not getting rich, but it definitely compensates, and it might warrant for another body or help us pay for another body in the fire department. So thank you. That's all I have to say.
All right, thank you, Pro Tem Sampe. Councilwoman Baumann.
I just want to, just because I'm kind of a process person, this is an introduction of this ordinance, so through the chair, can we have some clarification for people to understand what the process will be? We're introducing it today, and what happens next?
Yes, precisely that. So as my colleague, Councilwoman Baumann said, today is when we put a new ordinance, whether it's this lift assist ordinance or any ordinance on an agenda, at the first meeting, it basically gets a read-through, an introduction, where it's on the agenda, but it's not fully adopted yet. So you have the opportunity to read and review the ordinance itself. And then at the next council meeting, so the first meeting in June, this will officially be adopted as an official ordinance here in the city of Westland if the council so chooses to adopt it. So today is only the introduction part of it, and then it will be on a future agenda item as an adoption at the next council meeting.
Thank you.
Yes. Anything else? Okay. The only thing I'll add is, again, I want to thank my colleague, Councilwoman Rakowski, who I think since I've been on council with her in 2020 has brought this up year after year, and it's sat on the back burner, but this year we're finally getting it done. And getting it done really in a timely fashion, given that we, just approved another assisted living facility. And we have so many of them already that abuse the system, so thank you for taking some leadership on this and getting it done. Thank you to the mayor's office, to Chief Stamper, to the city attorney's office for working on this. And I know this has been a long time coming. I know you've had this waiting and ready to go, so thanks for having it ready and getting it done. I think this will be a big step in helping our fire department with the increased run volume that they get as a result of these non-emergency calls and lift assists from some of these assisted living and rehab facilities. With that, is there any other discussion? Any discussion? Any dissent? Any dissent? Hearing and seeing none, motion passes.
New business. Item 2, approval of minutes for the study session held May 12, 2025.
There's a motion by Councilwoman Rakowski, supported by Councilman Wishart. Is there any discussion from the maker?
No.
Any discussion from the supporter? No. Any other discussion from the council?
Roll call.
Oh, yeah, right, we have absent, sorry. Roll call.
Councilwoman Baumann.
Yes.
Councilman Hart.
Abstain due to absence.
Councilman Hornbuckle.
Yes.
Councilwoman Rakowski.
Yes.
Councilman Wishart.
Yes.
Pro Tem Sampe.
Yes.
President McDermott.
Yes.
Motion passes. New business. Item 3, approval of application for a new Class C and new SDM liquor license for Wicked Pickle Company LLC located at 36871 Warren Road.
There's a motion by Councilman Hornbuckle, supported by Councilwoman Rakowski. Is there any discussion from the maker? Any discussion from the supporter? Okay. Is there any other discussion from the council? Yes, Councilwoman Baumann.
Thank you. So when I looked at this, I saw the Class C and the new SDM. I wanted to get some more information. So I made several phone calls over the last 4 days and talked to several people, both inside our city and even the attorney. So I guess through the chair, I don't know if, since the petitioner is here, if it makes sense, if it's possible for them to speak on the questions I had and to answer them, or if this should come through the attorney, I don't know, whatever. But so the questions I had were basically, I want clarification about what the SDM license actually means and, and the difference between that and the Class C. And I got my answers, but I guess I want the authorities to actually answer the questions for the residents and things like that. And then also just a little bit more information about, how they're going to be using this with Wicked Pickle, how they see the business, working. Because those are some of the questions I had also, because, when you hear about family friendly, you have questions when it comes to adding alcohol. And I know there was a lot of conversation when the ex-Thorn Place, had got their liquor license. So it's just, I think it's an opportunity for the business to actually share how they see this helping them, the community and things like that, and what some of the things they're going to do. So I don't know who makes sense to answer those questions, but.
If the petitioner is present, certainly like to invite you forward. Good evening. Before we turn it over to questions, anything you guys wanted to add with regards to this, or any comment on what's already been asked?
Sure. First, I'm Seth Tompkins,
I'm Ron Stern, I'm one of the co-owners of Wicked Pickle.
and I'm his attorney. I was here just a few months ago with Eloise Asylum, so good to see you all again. I've been doing this for 24 years, and I've never worked in Westland, and I've had the opportunity to do it twice in 3 months, so.
We're keeping here.
Listen, you've been excellent to work with. Alex has been great to work with. So this is, it's a recreational facility, right? So no different than an ex-storing place or indoor golf or any other type of recreational facility that would want to get one of these licenses. I know that many people take pickleball very seriously, but it's also taken not as seriously like a softball, a beer league or something like that. So I know that Ron and his partner have spent a lot of time and a lot of money building this place out. It looks beautiful. I think you've all been there. It's a great facility, and they're excellent people running it. So as far as why this facility needs a liquor license, I think it would go great here. I think it's a large enough facility where they can host events, they can host weddings, they can host, other types of confirmation parties, bar mitzvahs, whatever, and people would want to have a bar there. If someone's having a pickleball league, it's always nice to have a beer when you're on a league night. So I think that the actual Class C license goes really well with this type of establishment. Councilwoman Baumann had questions about what the SDM license was for. Now, typically I just ask for these licenses because they're non-quota licenses, they're tag-along licenses. They're for the sale of beer and wine to go. So we don't think it's going to be a major part of his business, but we talked about if you don't have this license and you need it, you have to go through the entire process again, which is a 5 or 6 month process. It could be up to that. So what we had spoken about, Ron and I, was that, there might be an opportunity where a local microbrew would say, hey, we want to sponsor a tournament, and we want to do a tap takeover, where we have 4 of our beers on tap, and then you can sell 6-packs to go. So do I think that this is going to be a major part of Ron's business? I mean, no. But if, it costs $100 a year to the state to get the extra SDM license, it doesn't count against your quota. And so every time a client of mine wants to get a Class C, I always check off the box and say, do you want to pay an extra $100 a year to get this license? They usually say yes. So that's what that's about. Do you want to say anything about your business or operations or anything?
I just think, we're happy to be in Westland. I think the city has really embraced us. We've had, even though this is a slow time of year, we've had a ton of people come through those doors already, and people really seem to like it. And just like Seth said, this is a fun thing, pickleball. So having a beer with your buddies, you play a game, and everybody's sitting down. We have TVs throughout the place. You sit down, you watch the game, you watch pickleball. It's kind of like a beer league. I play beer league hockey, you have a beer after. It's the same thing here. So I think people are really going to enjoy it. They're just going to, we have sofas throughout the place. People are just going to sit around. We have a whole wall with like 20 or 30 seats watching the courts. You sit down there, you have a drink, watch your buddies play. Just, hang out and enjoy it.
Then as far as operations, Ron and I have talked about the fact that his bartenders and his service staff all need to get tip certified. And we have written policies that are going to be in place that all the people have to acknowledge that we will give to the liquor control investigator. I don't believe that we submit any of that stuff with you yet, but it's just kind of standard fare for putting these types of businesses together. I mean, every Class C licensee needs to have one alcohol training certified person on staff at all times. But I have expressed to Ron the importance of having every single person that serves alcohol be tip certified and every manager on site be tip certified. Just because, this is going to be a facility that's open to all ages, and it's very important to make sure that everyone is, number one, not served if they're a minor, and number two, not overserved. And so those are the two main things on why alcohol training is very important to not just this business, but every business that has a Class C license. So that's what an SDM license is. That's why we wanted it. I don't think we're going to use it probably more than once every couple of years, but it's too much of a pain to go ask for it after the fact, so that's why we're just doing it.
All right, thank you. Councilwoman?
When we spoke out, I just want to clarify and just make sure I understand this right. As council, we authorize the Class C because of the quota, but the SDM is really going to come through the Michigan Liquor Board. Is that as I'm understanding? So technically, we are not authorizing that?
That's correct. It's part of our application.
Right.
So we're asking for it as part of this application. But if we had asked for just the Class C now, and then after the Class C was issued and we asked for an SDM license, it would never even come before the council. It's a non-quota license. If you have a C, you automatically qualify for an SDM. It's really just a tag-along license. Most Class C licensees now actually have this license. Most of them don't use it.
And last question. What are the hours of operation of the alcohol portion of Wicked Pickle?
Well, we're open from 9 AM until 10 PM as of right now. But obviously, we probably won't be serving alcohol in the morning, so it would be, well, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. But, you know, probably noon until close, would be my guess.
7 days?
Right now, we close at 6 o'clock on Sundays,
Okay.
but as our business gets busy in the fall and winter, so when people aren't playing outdoors, they're gonna be playing indoors, and we expect to be extremely busy. So the hours may extend, we may do, you know, midnight on the weekends, get some of the younger people in that wanna come play pickleball, have a drink, hang out with their friends. And just so you know, I've had a Class C license before, when I was much younger. I owned a bar nightclub in Farmington Hills, and no issues there either.
Thank you. That's good. Thank you very much.
Okay, Councilman Hart.
Yeah, thank you, Council President. No, thank you guys for coming out, and to the attorney, thank you for giving everyone else the education on the SDM license, so, full support. Happy when you guys open there and bringing something in. Destinations and experience right now is what the draw is, and anything that can bring people to the city and go ahead and, you know, patronize local businesses and everything else is a smart move for this council, and it's a smart move for the entire community, so behind you, support you, makes total sense. As you said, you know, the indoor golf, they have beer licenses, all the other indoor recreation kind of sports, beer league stuff, they have the same thing. So you want to be able to provide that experience, but you also want to make sure that you're competitive. Because if you're doing something smart here, someone's going to copy you, right? So let's do it first and do it right here. So thank you, Council President. I'll be in full support.
Thank you, Councilman Hart. Councilman Hornbuckle.
All right, just going to add my 2 cents in here, or 10 cents now. But I know mostly everyone here knows that I love pickleball. And when Rob brought Wicked Pickle here, I was the first one to sign up, like, oh, take my money. But I definitely support this. Pickleball is definitely that social spot. We need something social and safe in our city where the young kids and adults can hang out and just have a good time. So I 100% support this. I like what you guys are doing over there. I love your family. Everyone's easy to talk to, easy to get along with, and I don't think we had any police calls to that facility, so you're doing something great now, because it was crowded and got a little rough last week, but it's definitely a great place to be, and I 110% support this. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Councilman Hornbuckle. Pro Tem.
Yeah, thank you, gentlemen, for coming out here. I support this as well. My question actually, well, first off, it's beautiful inside. $350,000 investment, ladies and gentlemen. More? See, that was what the mayor said. It was $1 million? Over $1 million. So thank you. Thank you for that investment. If you haven't been there, ladies and gentlemen, it is beautiful inside. Brand new, clean, the courts are nice, so thank you for the investment. A lot of times people ask questions, so if they're drinking, they're having a good time, are you serving food, or is that like next on your list?
We're not planning on serving.
Okay, so it's only going to be drinks
Right.
then? Okay, all right, and then what's the timeline in terms of approval for
So
this?
that's what we were talking about,
Okay.
because, you know, after, our application to the state's already in, all right? But it just sits there until we get a resolution from city council.
Right.
So hopefully you vote in favor of this and we get a resolution. You give me the resolution, I email it up to licensing, and then they've got to get it to enforcement in Lansing, who sends it to enforcement in Southfield, who then gets it to actual enforcement agent, and then we do our investigation and they write the report. And so you know, we're dealing with a bureaucracy, and every time it changes hands,
Sure.
it takes a little time. I'm hopeful we can get this done in 3 months, but it's
Okay.
really out of my hands. You know, we'll be ready when the investigator gets assigned to this, and we'll give the investigator everything they need within, you know, there's a face-to-face meeting, and then there's all these documents that they ask for. So we'll be ready for that, but I don't control the
So it could be
state.
fall then,
It could be,
essentially?
it could
Okay.
be end of the summer. I mean,
Yeah,
they go
okay.
pretty quick now.
Okay.
They're a lot quicker now than they were a couple years ago, so.
Well, I'm in full support. The place is beautiful.
Thank you.
Again, thank you for the investment. When I went out there, I did a Facebook Live, just showcasing the facility, and people loved it.
We appreciate it.
So I love what you guys do. I think that it's relevant, as my colleagues said. Recreation, entertainment, family-friendly is what we're missing. So thank you for bringing something fun and entertainment. So full support.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wonderful, thank you, Pro Tem Sampe. I too just want to briefly say, I really appreciate your investment in the city. We need destination attractions here like this and axe throwing, so the more of these types of businesses like Wicked Pickle that we can get that are destinations, it will bring people not only from the city of Westland, but regionally, because not every community is going to have something like this, and yet every community has people who love pickleball, or just casually want to try it out because they've got a friend or family member who's been raving about it since it's, gotten big over the last 3 or 4 years. So thank you for your huge and significant investment and your continued investment with this, applying for this liquor license, and we really appreciate your investment here in the city. Is there any other discussion from the council? Any dissent? Any dissent? Hearing and seeing none, motion passes unanimously. Congratulations and good luck.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Have a great night. Thank you.
New business, item 4, adoption of prepared resolution authorizing the allocation of American Rescue Plan Act funds for the Escott Youth Development Organization programming assistance in an amount not to exceed $25,000.
There's a motion by Councilman Hart, supported by Councilwoman Rakowski. Is there any discussion from the maker?
Briefly, Council President, we've been doing good lately to try and support a lot of local, what I would say, community active groups here. And CROC is one of those, and Escott is one of those, organizations that has a long history of doing just positive work in the community, especially with youth. My family was involved in CROC when I was a little guy. So I know the value that it brings, and we see the value that it brings now. And, I got to tell you, I'm pretty proud that CROC's here in town. So happy to support this. We know that the facility needs some work. We know you guys are going to do a good job and keep doing a good job in the community. 100% behind it. Encourage my colleagues to do the same. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Hart. Councilwoman Rakowski.
Thank you, Council President. The SCOT program is pretty unique. I had the opportunity to be pretty actively involved, especially in the summer program, but that's the Emmanuel Stewart Champions of Tomorrow program. And what that program really does for these youth is something that I haven't seen, I don't think ever, especially as an educator. So each week has a theme. The kids are exposed to so many different things. They're exposed to public safety and building relationships with your police department, your fire department. They're exposed to local government and trying to understand the government. They're taught about being studious individuals and being respectful individuals. So it's so much more than just the sport and art of boxing. So I think it's, the boxing is kind of the bonus. It's the bow on top of the whole package of that program. I've also had the opportunity every fall for as long as I can remember when we do our big veteran meal giveaway. Here comes the Escott/Cronk bus with these young people, and they're actively involved in the process of making sure that these meals for our veterans are packed. They're kind of, it's just really cool. And I also want to just add, not necessarily related to their program, but the fact that many are in attendance today. I'm always moved when we have young people in the audience and we recite the pledge, and you can always hear them the loudest. So I want to thank them for reciting the pledge with us and doing so proudly. It just shows me that program is instilling such wonderful integrity and character and a great, strong value system into the young people that participate. So thank you for what you bring to our community and those young people, and I am in support of this as well.
Thank you, Councilwoman. You got Pro Tem Tempe next.
I'm all right, my lights are on. I just want to give her a round of applause for all the children and the families that are here. Can we just give them a quick round of applause for showing up? You know, I say when you want something and you work hard for something, you show up and you ask. So it says a lot about the characters of the families that are here and the children that are waiting so patiently to just pass this. But I really hope that the money that is allocated tonight supports the program. It continues to give hope, promise, and just energy for the program. So City Council supports it. I know it was something that, thank you for being patient for us to work out details, but I really appreciate everything that you guys do, Chris, with the children. As Councilwoman had said, you guys are there for our veteran meal program when we prepare it. There's a lot of other things in the community that you instill the children to volunteer and to be a part of the community, and that's not something that many programs do nowadays. They don't teach the children manners. They don't teach the children to work hard for what they want, and you give them the whole package. So it's not only an after-school program, it's really a program of development, mentorship, and support. So I really am very supportive of this. I'm sorry I haven't made it over yet. I promise I will. And I just, you know, I know what you guys do, and I know that what you bring to families is so important. So I really hope this helps. I'm in full support of it. And again, I just want to really give you guys a round of applause and say thank you for showing up, and thank you for being here. A lot of times when people come and they ask for support, they don't show up. So thank you for being here. And again, I wanted to give you guys a round of applause, so thank you.
Councilman Hornbuckle.
Thank you. And thank you again for all being here. The program is amazing. You stole some of my words, because if you did listen to the pledge, you didn't hear anyone else but them. So, you know, being a voice in your community is awesome. You're showing, these young men and women are leaders now. They just don't know how powerful they are just yet, but they're doing it. And you see it every day. When you walk into the facility, they're not shy. Hey, how you doing? My name is Delano. You know, most kids are too shy to talk to someone that's older than them, or anything. These kids are respectful from the time you in there to the time you leave. They love the sports, and I can go on and on about their mentor. When I grew up, I didn't know what a mentor is. These gentlemen that work with them every day are passionate about these kids. They pick them up, they drive them. I had to chase the bus down to catch them to be like, hey. But they're very passionate about these kids, and it's an honor to actually have something on the table to give them to help make their facility better. The only request I have, I would like before and after pictures. I was there, I seen the floor. It is kind of a trip hazard. So I definitely would like before and after pictures if I can. But other than that, I'm glad that this is going through, hopefully, and I'm 120% support this. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Hornbuckle. I'll just quickly echo the sentiments of my colleagues. You know, I'm over at Jefferson Barnes a lot as a part of the North Wayne Citizens Council, and there's a lot of great things that are happening at our community center. You know, people say, well, Westland doesn't have a community center. Oh, yes, we do, and it's over in the North Wayne Historic District at the Jefferson Barnes Vitality Center. And one of the many great things that's going on at Jefferson Barnes is the SCOT program and the youth development and the work that all of you are doing over there for these kids. And the work that the kids are doing, you know, helping each other out and bettering their own lives through boxing, through sport, through activity. So to be able to support your program and your initiative over there and help to spruce up the gym, we're, I think, all very much proud to do that. So thank you for the great work. We know you're going to continue doing amazing work for the kids, and we know the kids are going to really, you know, be the focal point and continue to shine as they really lift each other up and help each other too. So thank you to everyone as a part of the SCOT program for all that you do, and I'll be in full support of this as well. Is there any other discussion? Any other discussion? Any dissent? Any dissent? Hearing and seeing none, motion passes unanimously.
Council President, if I may have a point of privilege, would it be possible for the young people to come up here and be recognized?
Sure, yes. Do we need to recess? They're going to be recognized. No. If the young people would like to come up here and be and their mentors come on up and be recognized here, stand.
Have them come up here, face that way,
Yep.
and we'll lead the.
Thank you, Miriam.
Yep.
Thank you, Miriam.
And we'll just have you face that way, and we'll just recognize you with a round of applause. How you doing? We'll just do the picture.
You might have to squish it a little.
Your boxers, you nearly get close.
This way, this
Squish
way.
it, everybody.
Come on.
Okay, everybody.
I got
That's
some-
for one picture, we got 12. I love it.
All right,
It's
everybody.
beautiful.
Yes, this is great.
Thank you.
How about it for the kids?
High five, guys. Keep on making the world a better place.
Way to go, guys.
Yes. Keep on making the world a
Absolutely.
better
You're
place.
There you go, Chris.
Do we punch? Council President, thank you for indulging my privilege.
You're welcome, Councilwoman Rakowski. Glad to do it, glad to do it.
You all right? Good to see you. New business, item 5. Approval of proposed rezoning from I-2 General Industrial District to OB Office Business District, 37415 Cherry Hill, south side of Cherry Hill, west of Newburgh. This is Planning Department number 2127C. Planning Commission recommends approval contingent upon departmental requirements and recommendations, and, if approved, directs the city attorney to draft the necessary ordinance amendment.
There's a motion by Councilman Hart, supported by Councilman Hornbuckle. Director Ayub.
Sure, thanks, Council President. Good evening, City Council. This property is about 25,000 square feet in size. It currently contains a vacant, arguably blighted building originally occupied by Lawson's Convenience Store, which was around before my time. It is zoned I-2 General Industrial District. Tonight, the petitioner is requesting to rezone the property to OB, that's our Office Business District, in order to allow for various site improvements, including the construction of an addition on the west side here where the cursor is, and ultimately the establishment of some sort of medical office, which is unknown at this time. Property to the north is zoned CB3. That's our General Commercial Business District. It's developed by CVS. Property to the south is zoned I-2 General Industrial and developed by Westgate Auto Parts. Property to the east is zoned CB3 General Commercial Business, developed by a gas station. I have the zoning map up on the screen. Sorry about that. Property to the west is zoned I-2 General Industrial. It's currently vacant, formerly occupied by Haverstick Automobile Storage and Junkyard. So the site has been zoned I-2 General Industrial for over 3 decades. Its size is inadequate for industrial uses. It has never been used for industrial purposes and has only been developed with this commercial building that's existing at the site today. The 2018 future land use designation, 2018 master plan future land use designation for this site is industrial. So therefore, the proposed rezoning to accommodate a medical office is inconsistent with the master plan. However, as previously mentioned, for a variety of reasons, we think that the industrial future land use designation is not sufficient. In the master plan update that we're currently undertaking right now, there are several areas and parcels throughout the city where the future land use designation doesn't really align with what we believe is the true intent of not only the property, but the city's aspirations for those properties. So those are being modified, which includes this site here. So looking at something more commercial instead of an industrial future land use designation. The Planning Commission did review this case at its May Planning Commission meeting and is unanimously recommending approval, as well as the Administration and Planning Department. The petitioner, Waleed Omar, is present in the audience, who can answer any further questions you have. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Ayub. Would the petitioner like to come forward?
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. Anything you'd like to add?
No, I'm just appreciate the support to really move forward with the planning. We've been having this facility for quite some time. It's close to my heart for a lot of reasons, and now we're in the process of really making it work and bring value to the city of Westland.
Okay, thank you. Anything from the maker?
Yeah, Council President, they're going to take a blighted building and remodel it and turn it into an office business. What's not to like? I'm 100% behind it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anything from the supporter?
No, same thing. It's been empty for how long?
Quite some long.
40 years.
A long time.
And what was it before?
We had it as a supermarket store,
Okay.
and I lost my
Lawson's.
partner for that and passed away, and
Yeah, I definitely support this, definitely get something going on there. I've been looking at that property for a while, and to see some activity there is, that I think is a good thing.
thank you.
Wonderful. Pro Tem, do you have something?
Thank you. So I just was curious what your timeline for development is, based on approval. What, are you looking to dig in right away to start kind of the build-out?
I think we're gonna start working with the architect to really do the remodeling of it and the additional building next to it, approval. So after that, we're probably gonna start do the construction. So my expectation is by end of the year,
Oh, wow, okay.
hopefully, yeah.
So you're hoping to have everything remodeled by the end of the year then?
Yeah.
Wow, that's fantastic. Yeah, no, I guess no issues from me. I was just curious what your timeline is, and it sounds to me like you're looking to use it for office building.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, initially, we're thinking about probably potential medical
oh, okay.
center, like an urgent care plus pharmacy.
Oh, okay.
So that's why we're looking for business opportunity because of business offices, because we don't know yet exactly how it's gonna shape. So I have a couple daughters, my kids are both ER doctors.
Yeah.
So hopefully we're thinking about, she already has one in Lancaster City, so we're thinking about opening one in Westland. But she has 3 kids, so I don't know if she's willing to do it or not. But this is really the top priority on our
Sure.
list right now, is to make it an urgent care facility.
Well, I think it would go well. You have a CVS right across the street, so good partnership. And if you have 2 ER doctors in your family, that's not a bad thing either. So I'm in support of it. I do look forward to this development, and hopefully it does turn into an urgent care, because I know that we're missing some medical along kind of Newburgh and Cherry Hill area.
Yep.
So full support this evening, and it's good to see that you're ready to get started.
Thank you.
Councilwoman Rakowski.
Thank you, Council President. Good evening. I'm excited to see this transformation as well, because beyond the destination and attraction businesses like Wicked Pickle, the other thing our community really needs is economic drivers for daytime. So during the daytime, when we have medical buildings, office buildings, technology buildings that are going to bring employees and visitors, and with the medical facility, hope they're not doing too poorly that they can't visit other establishments. But, when we talk about bolstering the community and we talk about economics, this is an example of one of the things that need to happen. So I'm very happy to see that. The larger daytime numbers our community can have, the more interest our community gets in some of these other national chains that people always ask us, why don't we have X, Y, or Z? It's because we don't have the daytime numbers. So this is going to be a fantastic addition, and I look forward to the transformation. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you for your investment here in the city. I'm greatly appreciative of that, when that is able to break ground and get started on that. With that, is there any other discussion from the council? Any other discussion? Any dissent? Any dissent? Hearing and seeing none, motion passes unanimously. Best of
Thank you.
luck.
Thank you very much.
All right. We are now going to move on to public comment. Everyone wishing to speak before the council shall do so in a civil manner. Speakers shall refrain from abusive or profane remarks, vulgar language, disruptive outbursts, threats, racial slurs, or other conduct that interferes with the orderly conduct of the business meeting. personal attacks on council members, city staff, members of the administration, other speakers, or members of the public will not be tolerated. The clock will start upon the first words of the speaker and will not stop while the speaker is recognized from the floor. The speaker can ask questions at this time, and the person in question may respond during the speaker's allotment of time. However, the clock will not be stopped once it is started. The clock will continue to run until the 3 minutes is up or the person is done speaking, whichever comes first. Is there anyone on my right? Yes, ma'am.
Hi.
Good evening.
It's been a long time since I've been to a council meeting. Anyway, I just want to thank you for taking care of our fire department and the issue on services, because it is, I work at Garden City Hospital and it's very abused. Many times facilities on holidays were a babysitting service when the homes are understaffed. So it ties up our fire department. As far as the private sector, many people do use it for transportation, and the firefighters come in and they don't even take them in the back. They just walk them in, let them get registered, and they sit in the waiting room. So it's basically just used as a means of private transportation. So I just want to thank you. I think it's great. I hope it works out, and I hope it gives the fire department the extra, and I know you're not going to get rich, but to do something with that. So thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there anyone on my left? Yes, sir.
Kevin Loney. I was wondering if anything can be done with these tree branches that are sticking out in the sidewalks. I asked for like a year ago and they're still in the way. And then I've been a resident for like 50 years and then had my own apartment for 35 years. And I'm being tired of treated like I'm a criminal and don't belong here by certain people, and they know who they are. And then, let's see, forgot what I was going to say. Oh, about autistic people. Talk about. It's not that most autistic people don't want to do, can't do sports, they don't want to do them. Rodney Moen was autistic, and he was the best pro freestyle skateboarder in the world. So that's all. Thanks.
Thank you, sir. And we can come and talk to you. If there's a specific issue with like a certain tree or anything, we'll be happy to talk to you after the meeting as well. Anyone on my right? Yes, sir.
My name's Anthony Jones. I've been in this city for about 12 years now, and some of the things that that I noticed is the small things. I'm thankful that winter is over with because, I'm a disabled veteran, and thank God I don't have to use a wheelchair or a pusher and stuff like that. But I have seen people in wheelchairs driving down the shoulder of the road because we can't get the sidewalks cleared. I don't understand it. It's a simple process, but it doesn't get done. And these people are trying to get someplace to, either get something from the store or trying to get home from the store. And we are putting our citizens in danger by doing this. I don't understand it. Why isn't something done with these businesses that don't shovel their sidewalks? I don't get it. I used to live over by their Merriman and Palmer area. My wife and I would go walking around the block and that stuff. And one of the laws that I know in the city is sidewalks must be free of all debris. I don't know how many times I've had to walk on people's grass because they have bushes going out into that area. How is a person in a wheelchair supposed to take care of that? Okay? Another thing, Big Boys has been closed for how long? It's an eyesore. Why don't we have some type of ordinance on the books that says, hey, if a business closed in 3 years, hasn't been sold yet, either the person that owns that property tears it down, or the city tears it down themselves, keeps the piece of property, and sells it for what it costs to tear it down. Like I said, I've lived here. I love it. It's great. Anywhere I can go within 10 minutes of my house. I live at Wayne and Cherry Hill, But, these are just some of the small things, in my opinion, that need to be taken care of in our city. And the last thing is, the ordinance people. I've been told that if I have a problem with somebody in my neighborhood because it looks like a garbage dump, I have to call the city ordinance people and make a complaint. Why? You know, my grandmother lived in Livonia. Livonia, they go through I don't want to use the word Nazis, but I'm serious, if you mess up, they're there and they'll tell you, take care of it now or we're going to fine you. I just don't understand why we have to call to complain about something when they should be doing their job. They should be driving through the community and saying, hey, this needs to be fixed or that needs to be fixed. So that's all I got.
Thank you, sir, and thank you for your service. Appreciate it. Anyone else on my left? Yes. Yep.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Ruth Dale, Westland. Tonight, I wanted to review with the council some requests that I've made over the past years, time and time again, to the mayors, to county commissioners, to council past and present. Number one, darkness on Middle Belt. There are no street lights on this stretch of road between Warren and Ann Arbor Trail. To me, it's a safety issue, and there have been deaths at the bridge area. It should be in police reports, I would think. Number two, part-time traffic light at our sub, which is Middle Belt, again, between Ann Arbor Trail and Warren. To me, I feel like the county and the city forget that our subdivision is a cul-de-sac, one way in and out. We are so close to the Ann Arbor Trail light that affects us, even with Merriman Road open finally. When the traffic light at Ann Arbor Trail turns red, as you know, traffic starts to back up, and we're very close to that light. And we do have 2 yellow signs saying, do not block this, do not block us in. However, you have some good drivers that will leave you space to get out, and others, they just keep going and fill in the space. And you can imagine Christmas time traffic, if it's snow, that hill, the slope that goes up again to the trail, which is so close. Anyway, the key word to me, I feel, is cul-de-sac with all of this. Number 3, connector route. A connector route connects Middle Belt to Hines Drive. It's a paved pathway from Middle Belt, or it would be proposed, Middle Belt to Hines Parkway on the east side of the Middle Belt Bridge. Check out other main roads along Hines Drive, and you will find all of them have access. They have a path, or like Telegraph, they have the road that comes from Ann Arbor Trail down to Hines. I've asked, like I said, time and again, nothing. However, number 4, on a positive note, I do have one request that's been fulfilled, and when Kevin Coleman became mayor.
Ms. Dale, I'm so sorry your time is up.
My time is up?
Yes, I'm so sorry. We would be
didn't
happy to stay after to talk about
Oh, I
number
didn't
4
get to
with
say
you.
something important.
I'm so sorry.
All right, next time.
We're going to stay after and talk to you, though, too, to get number 4 for you.
I just want to say, when he became mayor,
Ms. Dale, your time is up.
over on the side, the chiefs got put back up front. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Ms. Dale. Is there someone on my right who wants to speak? Ray Schuholz?
Gotta say something for bringing no notes up here tonight, but I want to talk about Kalamazoo. Wow, tornadoes happening all over the Michigan. I was in Kalamazoo when it hit too. Not too far away, did some damage. But anyway, I was at a hotel, and the next day I did a presentation, me and two other advocates, and it went great. So it's opening doors and self-determination and peer mentoring services for other people around Michigan. I think it's great. I got a nice email on it, and they said that they're going to contact me for more presentations. I love it. And my next go-ray is going to Lansing. So 2-day retreat on policies and stuff. I'll be talking about Medicaid. I heard enough of it, and I'm bringing my voice up there again. It's a serious matter here. I'm asking people to write their legislatures, call them. It's just a serious thing. Thank you.
Thank you, Ray. Is there anyone on, yes, sir?
Hello, everyone. I just want to remind to everyone that May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and I'm the face of someone who suffers from mental health disorders, and I could be your son, I could be your cousin. So, and I'm someone who's come from very harsh circumstances into where I'm now working for a major corporation, and I'm still working. I've grown up, and I have working knowledge of the history of our psychiatric system, from its very creation of our country up to our current technology of atypical antipsychotics. And it would be nice in my free time to also have a more greater say in our psychiatrically disabled community on what to do with them. And especially we're dealing with this huge paradigm shift of funding from the federal government, and your hands are tied with so many social issues and what to do. And I also have to say that I may be just a associate's degree in general science from Schoolcraft College, but I have so much learning under my belt from various universities. In my younger ages, I have a background in Arabic, a little bit. I've taken some Arabic courses. I'm not an expert in the language, but I've looked through Westland and all the minorities, and I know that Westland is not just the white Caucasian culture. It's a hodgepodge of multicultural cultures, and as we live in this world-based community where we all have to deal with powerful people from different areas of the world, I could be valuable with my knowledge of different cultures, and I can also greet people in almost every language, everything from Chinese to Jamaican Creole. So that could reach out to business leaders, and also, but my main goal is to reach out to what are we supposed to do with our young people who have got caught up in our psychiatric system. So with that, I have to say, just consider me. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Anyone on my right? Anyone on my left? Yes, Mr. Stachow.
Good evening, everybody. Mine's going to be nice and short. There seems to be a proliferation of Canada geese in the area. We'll leave that go for the time being. I'd like to know, who do we call when there's carnage on the side of the road that's been laying there for days on end? Does anybody have an answer for that?
If it's an animal, generally animal control.
Pardon?
If it's an animal, animal control.
And can you give the general public their phone number? I've had a lot of people asking me, and I'm not Mr. Wizard.
Yeah, we can make that announcement.
Please, Mike. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Mr.
Have a great evening.
You too. All right, and we had one more person on my left, Linda.
Good evening. I wanted to speak about some graffiti or tags that I've seen around the neighborhood. I know a lot of times when people hear that, they think immediately negativity. But I'm wondering, could we turn this into a reflection or try to change this into an artistic or reflection of the community? Possibly could the city consider implementing a graffiti abatement program which would provide resources for property owners to remove graffiti and prevent future occurrences? And additionally, could we explore the opportunity to create a designed graffiti area that allows these artists to express themselves freely without fear of prosecution? By taking the balanced approach to graffiti, we could promote creativity, self-expression, while also maintaining the beauty and safety of our community. Because we all know, when we see those signs, that it could take away from the beauty of our area. So I appreciate your time, and I look forward to your thoughts on this matter.
Thank you very much, Linda. All right, anyone else on my left? Okay, we will now close public comments and move on to comments from the administration. Director Adams.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for allowing me to deliver comments on behalf of Mayor Coleman and the administration tonight. First, we wanted to note that it is Public Works Week, and we would like to thank all of our hardworking public service employees. The services provided by our DPS employees play a pivotal part of residents' everyday lives, and we greatly thank you for your service. Next, wanted to note that we have had a lot of great events over the past couple of weeks, and we would like to thank everyone who attended, everyone who volunteered, and everyone who sponsored these great events. Moving along, wanted to note that Thursday is the Farmers and Artisan Market opening day, which goes from 3 to 7 p.m. The market is located at 1901 North Carlson, and this week's entertainment includes Benny and the Jets, so I hope to see you there. Next, please also join us on Sunday, May 25th at 1 p.m. for the Wayne Westland Memorial Day Parade. The parade will begin at John Glenn High School and will head north on Central City Parkway, and it will end at the Veterans Memorial Garden, which is located behind the library, where then a ceremony will be conducted. And lastly, due to Memorial Day, I wanted to note that city offices will be closed on Monday, May 26th. Thank you.
Thank you, Director.
The animal control number, Chief, correct me if I'm wrong, but I just looked it up online, and that would be the front office at PD, which is 734-722-9600.
Thank you, Director Adams. Anything from the city attorney's office this evening?
Appreciate you guys having me out, as always, and I don't have any comments in particular, but thank you.
All right, thank you, Attorney Grisco. We will now hear from our city clerk, Richard LeBlanc.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to take a few moments to somewhat read a statement so it keeps me on track. I've served Westland in different capacities since 1989. I've worked full-time since 1974, so I've been around a while. I'm announcing that I plan to retire from city service 2 months from now on July 21st. Cheryl and I have been married for 45 years, a little more than that actually. And our original plan was for me to work through the term through 2027, but life does things that are not expected, and then we respond. Family matters, including significant health concerns that emerged in January 2024, advanced the timing of our plan. My personal health is fine, but we've decided that it's time for me to retire from full-time work, to focus on our at-large family, and to encourage a different generation, I guess is what I'd say, of leaders to step into the office of the city clerk here in City Hall. I applied for Social Security recently. That was an interesting experience. I hear some laughter. I'm not the only one. I expect to receive my first check later this year. The last city council meeting that I will clerk will be July 7th. I'll serve as city clerk until 6:59 p.m. on July 21st. That's what my paperwork will say. My hope is that on that same evening, during the regular Westland City Council meeting, the city council will consider appointing Deputy City Clerk Shannon Inman as the next Westland City Clerk. If appointed, there are no presumptions here, but if appointed, Shannon has identified a person who will be named her deputy within 48 hours. It'll be a seamless transition. You know, the clerk's role is so much different than even just a few years ago. We all know that we have voted on election matters multiple times over the last half dozen years. The reality is that there is not another fully qualified person that lives in the city of Westland, a person who could step right in on day one, handle the position, its current responsibilities, and its obligations. I'll add that there's no need to hire me or anybody else to be a consultant. It'd be the first time in a long time that the city hasn't done that. But we don't need that. The city doesn't need that. Shannon has been a Westland resident for multiple decades. She's already a certified municipal clerk. Together, we've done pretty much everything to ensure, that she is ready to assume that top job. And I also pledged to the city and to her, hey, if something comes up, just give me a call. You know, it's not unusual for me in my position to receive calls from different directors, different department heads, and residents every day of the week, and sometimes at any hour of the day or evening. That'll still be something that I'll do, and I won't invoice anyone. It'll just be, I'll help. You know, I've been in public service a long time. Having been elected 12 times, I'll say that government service is fabulous. It is wonderful, in my opinion. I'll miss it. I really will. I'll have more to say in July, but for now, I'll say it has been the honor of a lifetime to serve. I don't look forward to not being in government service, but it's what I have to do. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for making us cry.
Thank you.
Thank you, Clerk LeBlanc. We will now begin council comments this evening with Councilman Hart.
Well, how am I supposed to follow that?
Simple.
With no comment.
No comments this evening.
Quickly. Well, since you're leaving early, I'm not going to give you that luxury, Mr. Clerk. I will be brief, though. And I'll start by thanking the clerk, and I'll do it again in a subsequent meeting, but thanking him for all his years of service. This times he's spent counsel to me, as well as a friend, and someone to just go ahead and hash out anything that we had to hash out.
Thank you.
All those years of experience are very valuable, and sometimes when you think you've got a good idea, you talk to somebody who tried it before, and they'll tell you, you might want to rethink that one, and I'll tell you why. And Mr. LeBlanc has always been one of those people, even before I was in city service here, back when I was in community service, as well as, military service before that. But thank you, Mr. Clerk. With that being said, Memorial Day is next week. So do remember what it's for. I saw something on the social media today that I thought was pretty interesting. And it says, Armed Forces Day is for those that are currently wearing the uniform, which subsequently was last Saturday, May 17th, okay? Veterans Day is for those like me and Councilman Wishart and Dan Stachow there who wore the uniform and served our time and hung it up, you know. We don't forget, we commiserate and celebrate our time, but that's what Veterans Day is for. Memorial Day is for those who died while in that uniform. So when you spend your weekend with family, as you should, just take a minute to remember that's what it's for. And that's it, Mr. President. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Hart. We will now hear from Councilwoman Rakowski.
Thank you, Council President. Good evening, everyone. Mr. Clerk, it's been an honor to be able to serve with you. Thank you for all of the years of service that you've dedicated to our city and at large. And you will be dearly missed. But, you know, I think there comes a time, even when life informs us that it's time, to our chagrin, I hope that you enjoy that time.
Thank you.
And you can spend it well. You deserve a rest. Thank you, Councilman Hart, for mentioning Memorial Day. So, you know, I think one of the things that a lot of us say is a misnomer, for sure, and that's putting the word happy Memorial Day, those words together. There's nothing happy about having to remember that somebody died and sacrificed for our freedom and independence, and especially something that we need to really think about today, especially as things are changing at warp speed. It's something that, you know, the best way we can thank those people and remember those people is by upholding what beliefs, and that's the Constitution, that they were willing to sacrifice for. So along with that, I think something that we do quite often in the city when we forget is we forget about how significant our city has been in the lives of veterans and those that are uniformed armed service members, and unfortunately those that have lost their lives while serving. And that's the fact that, you know, historic Norwayne was really Detroit's, the center point of the arsenal of democracy. And at some point in time, it has been written that 5,000 people occupied all of the tiny homes that were put up in a hurry by the Corps of Engineers. And they came to our great city, which was a township at the time, right, Ms. Dale? And they served to create the tanks and bombers, Liberator bomber, the tanks, at the factories just down the road. And what's unique about Westland is we were a community that would let anybody who wasn't serving, didn't matter what race you were, didn't matter what gender you were, Westland would let you come here and reside where other communities were making it absolutely impossible for African Americans and other minorities, but primarily our African American people, to provide their service to the arsenal of democracy. So when I was researching Norwayne, I thought that that was such a testament to the community that we are, and that we should continue to strive to be, as we look at the fact that we have a jewel, we really have a gem inside our city, and we really, really need to be considering it as the important piece of history that it is. And I look forward to seeing us revitalize that. Other than that, I wish you a somber Memorial Day as you gather with your families. And, you know, as we think of all of these armed service holidays, let's start thinking about the historical significance of our city and the people that provided as well to making sure that the men and women came home, especially during World War II. So we'll see you in June. Be safe and be kind.
Thank you, Councilwoman Rakowski. Councilman Wishart.
Thank you, Council President. First, I want to thank Councilman Rakowski for the history lesson. I did not know that at all. I will be down at the Memorial Day Parade on this upcoming Sunday at 1 o'clock. It starts at John Glenn and goes all the way to behind the library to our veteran memorial back there. As someone who's known people that have made the ultimate sacrifice in theater, this is a big day. Just take a few seconds, stand back, and think about those individuals that never came home. That's it.
Thank you, Councilman. We'll now hear from Councilwoman Baumann.
Thank you. I actually don't have much to say today. The only thing I was going to add to calendar items is that I've been paying attention to the Westland calendar. There's a lot of information on our calendar. It's really robust with the things that are going on over between now and the next council meeting and through June. So I just, because of the parade there, so if you have any questions, please go to the website for the City of Westland and go to their calendar, because there's a lot of opportunities to even volunteer and different things in the community for, the summer and things like that. So just, that's really all I wanted to actually add today. So thank you.
Okay, thank you, Councilwoman. Now hear from Councilman Hornbuckle.
Thank you. I don't have a lot, really. All I want to do is tell council thank you for passing the ARPA funds for our children. I think that demonstrates to the kids that we care. And I want to thank you all for showing by helping these kids have a better and safer place in their gym. It's definitely a great program. Also, I've been out in the neighborhood lately through the city, and one thing I've been seeing that I want to ask the city to help me with is just help do your part, cut your grass. Just real simple, help our city look beautiful by just cutting your grass. It seemed like every corner I turn, we got high grass, and then everyone else looks nice and pretty. So I just ask that the community, if you can, get out there, cut your grass. If you can't, it's a bunch of high school students out here that will help cut your grass. But just help do your part, help make the city as beautiful as we can. And I think that's all I have for now. Thank you for this moment.
Thank you, Councilman Hornbuckle. Pro Tem Sampe.
Thank you, Council President. I also wanted to thank the clerk for your years of service, for all that you've done for me personally. Coming in rather new, I feel like I'm a veteran now, but it's been 4 years, and I spoke with you many times throughout the campaign, just asking questions, but being a mentor and a friend to me too, I appreciate it. And we're going to miss you up here. We're going to miss your knowledge, but also just your encouragement. And I know these next 2 months are going to fly by, so I know that we'll hear more from us, but I really appreciate your years of service.
Thank you.
To speak about something emotional, I want to wish everyone a happy graduation season. I'm having a hard time coming to grips that my son graduates on June 1st, right before the next meeting. So he's a senior, so I just want to wish everyone that's graduating, a child or a grandchild, a lot goes into it. A village goes into raising our children and grandchildren. So being a senior 2025 mom, I've been very emotional. He started his last week of high school ever today. So just cherishing those moments and taking it all in. So I'm sure I'll speak more about it at the next meeting. I know that we got a history lesson, but Westland celebrated its 59th birthday on May 16th. So I know that we're all proud of the vibrancy. I think that the city's going to do something next year for the 60th, so that's very exciting. It was brought up by Mr. Jones about the blight. I actually spoke with Megan Daniels from Channel 7 today. She had questions about blight. I know that we all take complaints from constituents about what are we doing, we have blight here, blight there. I think our ordinance officers do a really good job. 22 square miles of Westland is a lot to cover. We are, in our next budget, myself and Council President and others have advocated, for ordinance officers. So we do have 2 new ordinance officers that is planned in our next budget. So I really feel like the City Council is listening to your complaints. We did work with the mayor to include this in this year's budget. So hopefully that will help with a little bit of the enforcement. And I know that we do work very hard to identify issues, but if you do see issues, if you go to the city's website, go to the bottom, hit report, there is an area that says ordinance. You can fill out the form, help identify it. So a lot of times it's education and finding those issues, but that is definitely something that we listen to, and we appreciate any time that it's brought to our attention. Last week was National Police Week, so I just want to thank our incredible officers for all that you do. I noticed that it came up, and I'm sorry I didn't post it, but I just want to thank you guys publicly. I know that Derry Dan and Julie did a Back the Blue event to honor you, but, you know, we honor you guys often, and we just want to thank you for all that you do. And, you know, every day should be a police day, every day should be a firefighter day, but wanted to thank you guys for all that you do and all that you do in the community. Our community police officers are amazing, they're out. We have a great mental health advocate, we just have a great police force, so I just want to thank you guys for all that you do. I don't think you get it enough, but again, thank you, and thank you everyone for giving the applause, they totally deserve it. Another event that I'm just going to plug really quickly is Adelina Robinson. She owns Kids Purpose Learning. It's a community event that she wanted to put together to help families with diapers, formula, wipes, childcare assistant. We actually had to bump the date out just a little bit, June 24th at Westland City Hall from 6 to 9. She's going to be doing a Kids Purpose Learning Day. There'll be guest speakers. She's got some prizes. It's going to be a great event. We have Wayne County Commission Chair Alicia Bell. There's a spoken word poet. So I'll be speaking as well. But I really, really, really feel like if you are able to come out, it is a suggested donation of $50. There'll be dinner, a lot of activities, but it supports an amazing cause to help these families that are struggling and help the individuals that really need the assistance now more than ever. So I'll be plugging in again at the next meeting. Other than that, I want to wish everyone a peaceful, a day of remembrance on Memorial Day. I also will be at the parade. I look forward to seeing everyone. Our next meeting will be Monday, June 2nd at 7. We invite everyone to come out. We also have a study session this week. I'm sorry, Thursday. No one plugged it. Yeah, it's okay. So a study session to discuss some other budget follow-ups. Is it 6 or 7? 6. 6, okay. 6 o'clock, I figured that you would plug it. And then there is a question really quickly about the ordinance. I think Devin Adams, you covered it, but the chief did say, as I asked him, so if you call the 722-9600, Mr. Stacho, there's going to be a prompt under that number that you'll be able to select animal control. So just want to make sure that everyone knows that. So with that being said, like I said, have a safe 2 weeks if we don't see you. Be safe and kind with each other, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you, Pro Tem Sampe. I don't really talk to Clerk LeBlanc much. I'm never in his office. I never run anything by him, never ask any questions.
Falsehoods.
What the?
And that is a complete lie. That is a complete lie because, there are some people here in government that you consider to be, a mentor or someone that you can confide in when you have questions, when you want to run things by, as my colleague said. Have we tried that before? How did it turn out? How didn't it turn out? Why it's a great idea or why sometimes it's just a downright terrible idea. Like maybe converting a middle school into I digress. But Clerk LeBlanc has been someone that I can always count on to give me sage advice. And sometimes it is something that I agree with him on, and sometimes we're in there hashing it out and I don't always agree, or more importantly, he doesn't agree when I'm in there bloviating. And so he will tell you, indeed he will. And I appreciate his honesty, his transparency, his forthrightness, and his friendship.
Wow.
And,
Thank you.
not only will I miss having Clerk LeBlanc to discuss things with and see around City Hall and see around the community, although I'm sure we'll see him around the community. But I know he will be greatly missed by the residents of Westland too. And if being elected for over 30 years to, 5 different offices city council, school board, state representative, county commission, and
That's
clerk.
right, 5. Yeah.
5 different offices. If that doesn't showcase that the community will miss what an invaluable asset he has been and continues to be, I don't know what will. I think all of us at one time or another have placed our trust and confidence in Clerk LeBlanc. And it has been evident, I think, election cycle after election cycle with what the community has spoken and with each, one of us and many people in the audience and watching at home who have called and asked questions and leaned on him for advice and guidance. So you will be missed, but please enjoy your retirement as best you can. I don't know whether Cheryl will be happier now or less happy to have you around more often, but I hope that you enjoy your retirement together with you and Cheryl. It is well-deserved. It is well-earned. You will be missed around here at City Hall and missed in the greater city. Your service to Westland is more than noticed, and thank you for it.
Thanks to each of you for your comments. Thank you.
As was brought up by several members of the audience, May is Mental Health Awareness Month. Thank you for spotlighting that. Thank you for highlighting that. We have, and I'm very proud of this, a social work program here that works with our Westland Police Department, someone who is a social worker and a substance use disorder specialist, because we know that there are situations where people are experiencing a brain health issue, a mental health crisis, where just simply sending a police officer there is not the right approach or appropriate. So to have someone like Jennifer Grismala working embedded directly with our police department, doing ride-alongs, responding to situations is so important in, protecting the mental health of others. But I think, and I really commend the chief and the police department for that, but I think we can go further. And that's why I really advocated for the creation of a public health department here in the city of Westland. The promotion of public health is one of the most important things, one of the most fundamental things that I think we can do as your public servants and elected officials. You have certain expectations, and as well you should as residents. Your trash gets picked up on time. Your recycling, your yard waste. And we know, Lord knows, sometimes priority is screwed up on that, and that hasn't always happened. You have responsive, just, and adequate public safety, police and fire services. You have good parks and recreational services. Your roads and infrastructure are serviceable and usable and the best they can be. But I think right along with that, one thing that gets glossed over and ignored is public health. And I think that public health is a human right. Access to health care is a human right. And ensuring that you have good, quality, affordable public health is a human right. And I think that's something that sometimes cities look over and say, oh, well, that's a federal issue, and we can't do anything about it. But I really think that we can. And that's why I've advocated and will continue to advocate for the creation of a public health department here in the city of Westland. And under that umbrella of public health, and I've had the chance to talk about this particular issue under the umbrella of public health with my colleague, Pro Tem Sampe, with the fire chief, with our union as well, and our fire union president, Dave Polite, is the creation of what's called a community paramedicine program. That is something that would allow our paramedics to basically do a home health care visit of sorts where they can respond directly to individuals who've had, repeated calls into 911, repeated emergency calls for any number of healthcare issues, where they can go out after they've come back from the hospital and do a home healthcare visit. So in addition to creating a full-service public health department here in our city, I would like to see a community paramedicine program, something that other cities across the country have gotten started in. And when we talk about May being, Mental Health Awareness Month, creating a public health department is something that we can do as a city to advance the betterment and the quality of life and the public health and the mental health of those in our community. I want to thank members of the Westland Rotary Club. I saw Maria Mitter out there, I saw Antoinette Martin out there, and many members of the Westland Rotary Club for the Norwayne Jamboree. It was a really great event. This is something the Rotary's been putting on for many, many years now, and they've been sponsoring this to offer a great family fun, friendly event there in the Norwayne community. There are many social support, wraparound services, and community resources that families and kids have access to at the Family Jamboree that were inside the gymnasium, as well as a lot of great prizes, free food that was given out to the kids. Amber Gilbert and her team at the Dance Academy from Westland Mall, who provided some great music and DJing for the event, and a bounce house that was rented by the Rotary as well. So thank you to the Westland Rotary Club for your work putting on another great family jamboree event. Thank you to the Norway Citizens Council and all the vendors and sponsors who came out and made a really terrific jamboree yet again this year. Thank you to Congresswoman Tlaib's office and Ms. Tipton for coming up and providing the legislative update. I agree, these devastating cuts to Medicaid are going to impact a lot of people here in our congressional district, in Congresswoman Tlaib's district, and right here in the city of Westland. So thank you, and thank you to Congresswoman Tlaib for shining a spotlight on that and fighting back against these devastating cuts that are being proposed. Just a few more things. One thing that wasn't brought up tonight, but it's something that my colleague and I have been working on, that is the CERT program here in the city of Westland. Pro Tem Sampe and myself, along with Director Owati and Chief Stamper, and several others have been, I see Brett in the audience who's been working with us as well, have been working on the creation of a CERT department. We are getting oh so close. The sign up for the CERT is now, correct me if I'm wrong, it's live online? So you can go to the City of Westland's website, cityofwestland.com, and sign up to be a part of the CERT program. If you are interested in CERT, please go to cityofwestland.com and sign up for that, as the sign-up link is now live online. I also wanted to thank the Norway Citizens Council, and more specifically Annette from the Norway Citizens Council, for organizing two really fantastic garden cleanups for the Nuego Gardens that are located there on Nuego, in Norway. And so a lot of people, myself, many other members of the community came out, some volunteer groups, some church groups, and helped to clean up and spruce up the gardens and get them ready for planting. So if you were one of the individuals that helped Annette and helped the Norway Citizens Council come out at the gardens, thank you for coming out. It was really great to see you out there, and it's a big help to get those gardens ready for fall planting. And then, what?
Look at the date of that.
Oh, yeah, that's already passed.
They were just
These were up here from the last
on
meeting.
my desk today.
So,
Thank you.
I think that's about all I have. As my colleagues did mention, please take some time to come out to our Memorial Day Parade here in Westland and the following ceremony. It is not a happy Memorial Day, as my colleague mentioned. It is a somber holiday of reflection for all those who served and paid the ultimate sacrifice for their service. So take some time to reflect and remember on those who didn't make it back and lost their life in the line of duty serving our country. And with that, if you need anything else, you can always find me on my council page at Councilman Mike McDermott. You can give me a call or send me a text message on my cell phone here at 734-890-2146. And with that, is there a motion to adjourn?